Are you looking for the best gaming mouse for you but you're confused which to get with all of these different options? Then don't worry, because this video might be for you. Or maybe you already have a mouse and you're just curious where I'll be putting it on this tier list. Then you're also free to watch, but I'm only going to be ranking the mice, gaming mice I've tried so far. But you don't have to worry, because we do have quite a lot of mice I've tried over here that we are going to be ranking. But if you're interested in any of these mice, it will be in the links in the description, and I will also have some discount codes you can use in the description as well, so you will get some discounts. And I also have more detailed reviews on my channel about these mice, so you can go ahead and check that out after this video. Now, I want to give a little disclaimer that these rankings will be my personal opinions, personal experiences, a lot of personal preference as well. So if you disagree about something, it's totally normal. I mean, let's say I find one of these mouse too big for me, and of course you have bigger hands than me, there's a high chance then of course that mouse can be higher tier for you. But for me, this is my personal experience. These are my hand size. Maybe you prefer an ergo shape, or maybe you have a specific grip not like mine, so some of these rankings will definitely be different for you. But the rankings I'm gonna be showing will be what I think is for me. But yeah, other than those, another factor I'll be looking at when ranking these mice will be how I performed with it in game, the shape, the weight, the performance, did I experience any issues, and a little bit on the price as well. So yeah, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started right away. Now, we're actually not gonna start over here on the mice, we're gonna start on the tier. I feel like this will be more time efficient. But yeah, starting on the C tier, we're gonna be putting the Ragnarok 2 Fire Grip, and that's pretty much it. Now, my reason for that is this mouse is quite unique. I mean, it is still a mouse, so it is in the tier list over here, but yeah, I think it is too focused for fun instead of actual like competitiveness. I mean, it's a gun grip mouse. Aiming with it just felt kind of weird for me. It was, yeah, fun, but yeah, maybe I'm really just not used to it. But yeah, there's also like crazy amount of pre-travel because it's using a key switch to actuate. The performance also wasn't the best, but it is pretty okay. But yeah, again, not really focused on competitiveness, so yeah, I'll be putting it on C. Now, moving on to the B tier. Now, this almost became C, but it'll be on B. The GravaStar Mercury M1 Pro. I'll also be putting the Epomaker Click Mouse over here, and the WL Mouse Beast X, the first Beast X. Okay, I want to clarify that this is not the latest Beast X, because there is some differences. But okay, for my reasons, starting with the GravaStar. Now, honestly, I think it is one of the most coolest looking mouse out of these mice. I really like the design. It is very high quality as well, durable. The RGB is amazing, but my reason is the shape is not really, I'm not really a big fan of it, or at least for my grip, but I can definitely see it being comfortable for some. But yeah, not really the safest shape. And another thing is the weight. It is just a little too heavy for me. 88 grams, almost 90, so yeah, I'm not really a huge fan of those heavy weights. But if you're a huge fan of heavy weight mice, then yeah, you might be able to put this higher, but not really for me personally. So yeah, those are really my main reasons why I'm putting it kind of low on the tier list. Now, moving on to the Epomaker Click Mouse. Now, it is pretty budget friendly, coming in around $62, I think. And the performance is also top tier, so very impressive for the price. Everything felt pretty premium about it, and I can definitely see this mouse definitely being on a higher tier for some, but I'm not a huge fan of its weight. Again, it's around 58 grams, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, it can be quite the deal breaker for me, but yeah, the shape is also pretty comfortable. Nothing really major problem about it. It is definitely a very decent mouse. The other mice on this tier list is just a little better for me personally, so yeah, I'm gonna be putting it here. Again, very decent mouse though. Now, for the WL Mouse Beast X, not gonna lie, this would have been higher if it didn't have this problem. It's the firmware. They kinda got abandoned. I'm pretty sure the story was WL Mouse couldn't contact their like collaborator on the firmware anymore. Not 100% sure, but I think something like that. I've heard, might be a rumor, but something like that, and they can no longer update the firmware. So yeah, the battery life wasn't really the best. I've seen a lot of people complaining about the battery life. Now, personally, I didn't really experience that because I'm used to charging my mice every single day, like before I go to sleep, whenever I'm eating lunch, before I game, stuff like that. So not really a major problem for me, but yeah, not having any firmware updates in the future is not that good. But yeah, one of my most favorite looking mice, like look at the dragon. Really love the variation I got over here, the blue tint on the magnesium shell, the clicks. Like, I also really love the dongle. But yeah, another reason why I'm actually putting it on the B tier over here and not higher is because there's just more latest versions that there's just no reason to get this old version anymore. So more updated version that can go up to 8K hertz. This can only go up to 4K hertz. So yeah, it is also kind of outdated already. That's why it's on this tier. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be it for the B tier over here. Moving on to the A tier. Now, most of the mice will be over here. The KYSONA will be over here. The Keychron Lemokey G1. The GravaStar, Lofree, Stormbreaker, the other Stormbreaker. The Mini, yeah. The Sword X, the Terra, the Uiden S9, and the M-Chose. And also the Dario A950 Pro Magnesium. Now, the A tier is a very decent rank. And there's definitely a high chance that these mice will be on a higher tier for you, but for me these will be the rankings. Now for my reasons, the Keychron Lemokey G1, again, very decent. I don't really have any major problems with it. The performance is amazing, the sensor, everything is just top tier. And by the way, for those wondering about my hand size and my grip, I do have more of a claw grip because I do like the hump, but kind of like a palm grip on the half. It's a little weird, but yeah, majority it's a claw grip. Then for my hand size, it is 18 by 8 centimeters. But yeah, going back, no problems with the shape of this mouse. The weight is also pretty decent, coming in around 55 grams. Not the lightest, but still it is on the... it's getting there. But yeah, it's pretty much a pretty decent mouse for me. Nothing like crazy special. I do think it is worth it though, and I would recommend it. But yeah, it's gonna be on this tier. Now for the KYSONA M617, pretty similar opinions like with the Keychron Lemokey G1. It is pretty decent, the shape is amazing, but this is cheaper though, coming in around 47, or no, this is the old price. It is actually even cheaper right now, around $44 at the moment of filming this video. So yeah, definitely a great budget option. The price is one of the factors why it's a little higher on the scale over here, even though it has pretty similar specs with the Epomaker. This is just, yeah, much cheaper. That's why, again, I'm also looking at the price for value you're getting over here. But yeah, very worth it mice. You can't really go wrong with this. I'll also recommend it. Now moving on to the GravaStar Mercury X Pro. This is a huge improvement compared to the GravaStar Mercury M1 Pro. The shape is so much better and more comfortable. It is improved. The sides are more flat, making it a much safer shape, and it still has that amazing cool alien style look, or I'll describe it as the GravaStar look. And then the weight as well dropped from 88 grams right over here to just around 49. That's like half. So yeah, very lightweight. I might actually put this a little bit above over here. It is also very impressive, that weight, considering it still has RGB. Like all these guys doesn't have that anymore. So if you're a huge fan of RGB and you like performance lightweight, I can definitely see this being higher. But yeah, for me, it's just gonna be around over here. I think it is worth it. I would recommend it. Now for the Lofree Hypace, it is very unique because the shape is a little different. It has an aluminum, or I'm sorry, a magnesium frame inside with a plastic shell outside. So very unique, and it is lightweight. Because of that, the shape is also pretty decent, even though it looks kind of flat. But yeah, I also think it is worth it. Pretty decent. A tier. Now for the Stormbreaker Ponage X BLG, I think this is also an amazing looking mice. I do like the gradient, the BLG collaboration over here. I would put this higher if I'm a fan of ergo mice. Now I don't have any problems with them. I do use them, but yeah, I'm more of an ambidextrous or fingertip or like this specific shape mice over here. If I were a huge fan of ergo mice shapes, I'll definitely put this higher. But yeah, it is pretty decent. I do find it comfortable. Performance, the weight, they're all pretty good. I think it is worth it for the price. I'll be putting it A tier also. Now the Dario A950 Pro Magnesium, I actually think this is one of the cheapest magnesium mice on this list. Yeah, if you use my discount code MIGSS, you can get it to as low as $74, maybe even lower if you catch Dario on sale. They do go on sale a lot of times, so crazy. Because of that, I might actually put this a little higher over here. But yeah, amazing value for the price you're paying. If you're a huge fan of magnesium mice, then yeah, this is definitely gonna be higher for you. The performance, the shape is pretty decent. The weight as well, I would recommend it. But yeah, I'll be putting it around the A tier over here. Now going back to the Stormbreaker Max EF over here, again, pretty similar to the earlier Stormbreaker opinions I've had. It is pretty decent. I think it is worth it. I really like it. If I'm a huge fan of ergo mice, I'd put it higher. Again, I don't hate ergo mice shapes. It's just okay. I'd still kind of prefer ambidextrous, but yeah, I'll be putting it on A tier. I'll recommend it. Now for the WL mouse Beast X Mini, this would have been higher if I'm like a finger tipper, since this kind of doesn't have that hump that I'm looking for, and I was able to still perform my best. I did find it pretty comfortable, but it's like on the edge of being a little too small for me, or a more accurate word is a little too flat for me. Like it's almost there. So yeah, definitely prefer a little bit more of a hump. Now another thing is there is also more latest versions now, so no reason why you'd get the old version compared to the newer Pro version. Pretty much the same price, I think, even cheaper actually, the more latest version. So but it's still pretty decent. You might be able to find this mice cheaper actually because it's the older model. It does have 8000 Hz polling rate if you update the firmware. Now moving on to the Sword X WL mouse, let me actually reposition it like there. Again, I think it is worth it, pretty decent. It'll definitely be higher if you're a fan of ergo mice. Performance, weight, no problems with it. I'll be putting it on 8 here. Now moving on to the T-Volution Terra. Now this is actually one of my most favorite ergo mice over here. Other than it being one of the cheapest ergo mice, it's like I really love the shape. It is a G703 shape, I'm pretty sure. Again, can totally be personal preference, but yeah, I think this is one of the more comfortable ergo shapes for me personally, for my hand size and grip to be specific. I also really love the screen dongle. I'll be putting it over here. Now moving on to the Uwidden S9. I recently reviewed this and I'm a huge fan of how it looks like. I think it is also one of the best looking mice on this tier list. To be specific, the flame red version over here, amazing looks, and the coating as well. It just feels so good. It is very high quality, especially if you're a huge fan of the Razer Viper V3 Pro shape. And another reason why it's on the higher tier over here is because of the price. It's like very budget friendly. You do get a lot of discounts by using my discount code MIGSS, and they're also running a lot of promos at the moment of filming this video. But yeah, the only reason why it's not on the S and the SS tier is definitely the weight. If it's around below 50 grams, I'll be putting it S or maybe even SS. But yeah, weight is definitely not its strong point. But don't worry though, it's not above 60 grams. Or I'm sorry, it's actually just a little bit above, unless you get the max version. But yeah, it's around 60 grams. You can assume that weight. If you're a huge fan of that weight, dang, just go for this mouse then. But yeah, I'll be putting it on the A tier, pretty close to the S tier. Again, just the weight holding it back a little bit for me. Now for the Amchos AX5 Pro Max, it has an amazing shape, the super light shape. I'm a huge fan of that shape. I did find that very comfortable. I did main the super light actually before, but that's like years ago, so it's kind of not on this tier list. But yeah, I did main that. I did love its shape. You got that on the Amchos AX5 Pro Max as well. The performance is amazing. It is also very budget friendly, this one. Now for the weight, it is also pretty decent, coming in around 55 grams, I think. So actually not the lightest, but when I was gaming with this mouse, it actually felt lighter, probably because of the weight balancing. It makes it feel lighter. So yeah, I'll be putting it around here on the A tier. Very decent mouse as well, especially for the price. But okay, moving on to the S tier, we will be putting the Hitscan Hyperlight, Dario A950 Wing, the Strider as well, somewhere there, the Beast X 8K, the Trinity, Glacier, the Arbiter, AJ159, the WL Mouse Ying. Okay, now for my reasons, starting with the Hyperlight, I think it is one of the best small kind of mice, not too small. It does have that hump still, so I still felt very comfortable using this. The shape is amazing. The weight as well, very lightweight. I think it is worth it for the price. It just kind of rises the price though with the separate dongle you gotta pay for the 8K hertz, which I hope they just, you know, bundle it up and maybe make it cheaper, but nothing really major. I still think it is worth it. I'd be putting it on the S tier. Now for the WL Mouse Strider, I just loved how this mouse looks like and the shape as well. I really loved the hump. No problems with the performance. Like, I think it's one of the best magnesium mouses out there. Again, I just hope it was a little bit lighter, but it's already pretty light actually. But if they just made it just lighter, similarly to the, let's say, the Beast X type of weight, this would have been like higher. But yeah, I'm just a huge fan of lightweight mice, so yeah, I'll be putting it on the S tier. Very amazing mouse. I would recommend it. I think it is worth it. Moving on to the Dario A950 Wing or Air. You could get this for as low as $59 if you get the right sales, but without any sales, with just my discount code MIGSS, you can get it still for as low as $67. But yeah, again, Dario does go on a lot of sales, or at least that's what I've noticed. So if you can wait for that, you might be able to get it for $59 or even lower. And this is one of the only mice around that price range that has this type of weight, 30 5 grams. How crazy is that? So yeah, that's definitely one of the reasons why it's on like a high tier for me. The performance is also very decent. 8000 Hz polling rate, no problems with it. S tier for me. Now for the WL mouse Beast X, I'll actually put this a little bit behind here of the Dario A950 Wing or Air. Now the reason why I'm putting it over here on the S tier is I really love the shape. I love how it looks like. The performance is amazing, but I can't put it higher because of the, again, more latest versions. But even though there's a more latest version, I still think that this is amazing. You might be able to get this for a lower price now, actually, now that there is a more latest version. But yeah, I just had an amazing experience gaming with this. The weight is amazing. S tier for me. Now for the Ponage Trinity CF, it is very similar to the Razer Viper mini shape. I have no problems with that shape. I do find it comfortable. The price is also pretty decent. You're getting carbon fiber. So yeah, even though it is lightweight, it is still pretty durable. The performance is also amazing. I've had an amazing experience gaming with this mouse, so yeah, S tier for me as well. Now for the Chillkey Glacier LW8KM, around there, I really love how it looks like with the screen, not gonna lie, even though you can argue that the screen is kinda useless or can be, like, it'll just be covered when you're gaming because it's just gonna be covered with your fingers. But yeah, for the price you're paying with my discount code Miguel, MIGUEL, I think it is very worth it. The weight is amazing, the performance is amazing. Again, you even get the screen. I think it is very cool. I do like it. The shape is very comfortable for me. The clicks, like, it's an amazing gaming mouse. So yeah, that's why it's S tier for me still. I would recommend it. Now for the Arbiter Studio X Vans Rakitsu, I think this is one of the cheapest carbon fiber mice over here on this tier list. It is also very lightweight. It does have a screen on its dongle. I just wish you can customize the screen on the dongle a little bit more, but carbon fiber mouse, very premium performance, very premium materials, feeling, experience. Shape is amazing as well. So yeah, definitely why it's on the S tier. It's a very well-rounded carbon fiber mouse. Now for the AJ159 Apex, also one of the best value for the price gaming mouse on this tier list. I really love it. You do have a wireless charging dock dongle with a screen, and the mouse is also amazing. I think the shape is very similar to the Sora V2. I'm a huge fan of that shape. The performance is also great for the price. I would have definitely put this higher if I'm not seeing as much mixed reviews about it. I'm seeing a lot of people saying they're experiencing problems with it, they're experiencing this issue. Now, I think I'm just blessed with a good unit, but I did not experience any of those, so just take note of those reviews when buying this. But yeah, with my experience though, no problems with it. I would recommend you buy this on a store where you can actually ask for a warranty for a long time as well, just in case you experience some problems. But yeah, again, for me personally, didn't really experience any major problems with that. It worked pretty perfectly for me. I do remember the dongle having a little bit of a problem though on the button under it, but again, nothing really major. But yeah, that's why it's on S tier. Moving on to the WL mouse Ying. Now, this would have been a lot lower if not for the shape and the weight. Like, the side buttons and the scroll wheel of this mouse is I don't know. For the price you're paying, I don't think you should be getting a scroll wheel and side buttons like this for a WL mouse Ying. They probably have improved it, hopefully, because there's a new batch. This is the first batch I got over here. The side buttons are not good. They worked perfectly though, but yeah, feeling wise, not really the best. And also for the clicks, a little bit. Not the best feeling clicks, but still pretty decent though. The scroll wheel started to have this like little rattle on it. Nothing, doesn't really cause any problems. It's just, but yeah, those are just minor issues for me. Nothing really affects the gameplay. It's just more on the feeling of the mouse, but still, for the price you're paying, I hope they do fix that in future batches. But still, again, I'm putting it on like a very high tier over here because it's one of my most favorite shapes that I've tried so far. Like, it's so comfortable. The width, the hump, the weight, it feels so good gaming with this despite the not so good side buttons click feels. Personally, I still really like it. So if you disagree and the side buttons are just such a big deal for you, I can definitely understand why you'd put this on a lower rank. I'm actually still gonna be maining it despite those minor issues. Though recently this is more of my second main because I did find another mouse to main one over here on the SS tier. So yeah, let's finally move on to the final rankings over here. My 8K Mini Pro, Beast X Pro, Max, Vaxi, Madar Major, and the WL Mouse Beast Meow. But yeah, now for my reasons, the WL Mouse Beast X Mini Pro. Again, as I said, it's not really the most perfect size for me. Like, I do prefer a bigger size. That's why these guys are a bit higher. But again, it's not really uncomfortable for me. It's just all bit on the edge, but still it felt amazing. The weight is amazing, one of the most lightest weight mice over here. I was able to perform amazingly with this mouse. The performance, the specs is also amazing, especially for the latest version over here of the Beast X Mini Pro. And what I really like they did is you can get this with the solid sides. That's also why I think it is such an upgrade from this old Beast X Mini. I can definitely see it being much more comfortable. So yeah, that's why I'm gonna be putting it on the SS tier over here. Now, for the Fnatic X Lamzu Maya X 8K and Maya 8K, one of the most perfect gaming mouses out there. The coating felt amazing. The stock skates were so smooth. The clicks were just perfect. I think it is one of the best plastic gaming mice over here, even though I do prefer magnesium more, but still, it is, you can be very confident for the quality you're getting over here with these two mice. But yeah, I do prefer the Maya 8K shape a little bit more though compared to the Maya X 8K. This is the bigger one, the X, but still the X version is still very comfortable for my hand size and grip. Now for the Beast X Max, it is much bigger than the Beast X and the Beast X Mini, and because of that, it has more hump, and I really love that. The specs are also very top tier. The weight is amazing. They've also added an option to get solid sides with it, which I really love the decision of. This used to be my main for quite a long time. I really loved how I performed with this. Nothing really much to explain. It's a perfect gaming mouse. Would recommend it as a tier for me. Now for the WL Mouse Beast X Pro, this is the most latest version of the Beast X 8K and the first Beast X over here. Of course, the firmware is much better on these two compared to the old Beast X. Again, you can get the solid sides, the performance, the sensor is just much better. There's just no reasons to get the older versions if you can just get this one, except if you can find the old version like the 8K over here for a much cheaper price, then yeah, I can see that. But yeah, one of my most favorite mice. I'm definitely down to main this. Now, I want to give a little disclaimer that I actually don't have a Beast X Pro and Beast X Mini Pro, but what I tried though is the Beast X 8K and the Beast X Mini. I mean, one of the only biggest difference on the Beast X Mini Pro and the Beast X Mini is the sensor and the sides, similarly to the Beast X Pro and the Beast X 8K. So you could say I've pretty much tried them as well. These guys will just, again, have better sensors and better sides. So yeah, I still want to rate them over here on this tier list. But yeah, anyways, that's gonna be my reason for the Beast X Pro over here. Amazing mice, perfect. The weight, the performance, everything. Even the shape, of course. So yeah, SS tier for me. Now, for the last two, the Vaxi Mad R Major. This is one of the best budget gaming mice I've tried. The weight is very light. It comes in only around 36 grams, which is very impressive for the price. And despite that, it felt very premium. The shape is just amazing. The coating as well. It didn't feel like I was holding a budget gaming mouse. It felt so premium. Is this better than all of these guys though before it? Well, not really, but the reason why I'm putting it higher is again because of the price. It is not as cheap, these guys. It is not as cheap as the Mad R Major. So amazing, one of the best value for the price you're getting over here. This is one of the few budget gaming mice that I'm actually willing to use over some of these other magnesium gaming mice despite it being plastic. But yeah, again, amazing value for the price, the performance. It's like, I don't know how they got it this cheap. So that's definitely my reasons why I'm putting it on the SS. Now, lastly, the WL Mouse Beast Meow, why I'm putting it on the one of the top, one of my most favorite. This is also what I mentioned, my new main that I've been maining instead of the WL Mouse Ying, because other than the better clicks and better feel, somehow the shape is just so natural for me. I thought I was not gonna like the shape at first because this is a fingertip mouse and I kinda claw grip, but I've actually been claw gripping this mouse. You can argue that it is smaller than the Beast X Mini, but the reason why I'm still able to claw grip it and find it more comfortable compared to the Beast X Mini is because of the hump over here. You can see it just goes up on the back over here, and it just sits on the like side of my palm very nicely, making me claw grip it very comfortably. And yeah, the more I've used it, the more I've gotten used to it. And I think the craziest part why I really liked it is the weight. I mean, with how small the mouse is, you might be able to expect that weight. It is just around 31 grams. And I mean, as long as I find the mouse comfortable, I don't mind sacrificing the full size. I don't mind if it's smaller, as long as I can grip it comfortably and I can play with it. Though I can see a lot of people not really finding this shape the most comfortable, because it's not the safest shape, let's be honest. Even though it somehow fit me really well, I can see a lot of people not liking it. But again, this is more of my personal opinions and personal preferences, my personal grip and hand size, the reason why it's on the top over here. If they can give me a WL mouse Ying shape that is very close to the weight of the Meow over here with similar specs and performance, then I might consider putting that higher over here. But yeah, for now, I'm very impressed with my performance on the WL mouse Beast Meow. It was very unexpectedly comfortable, so yeah. Anyways, that's gonna be it for my tier list. I pray and hope that this video helped you in some way. I hope I was able to help you decide which mouse will be for you, even though there is quite some personal preferences involved in the rankings over here. I mean, that's what I've experienced. But yeah, I did try to explain as much as possible the mouses I'd put higher if I were this type of person. So I hope you were able to relate to that, and I was able to help you find the perfect mouse for you. Again, all these mice will be in the links in the description where to buy it. I will have discount codes there. I would really appreciate it if you can use those discount codes and those affiliate links in the description when buying any of these mouses. Also, I have more dedicated review videos for each of these guys. Just search the name of the mouse plus MIGSS. So Uiden S9 Migss, WL mouse Beast Meow Migss. That should be the first one to pop up. So if you're interested, go ahead and check that out as well. Anyways, I'm gonna see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to stay grateful and remember, Jesus loves you. Bye bye.